So when you think about a framework that can help you run a better sales business, just remember 3VQ, right? I'll repeat that, 3VQ, which means we are looking at 4 variables here that you will use to track it. First is value, volume, velocity, and quality. Let me walk you through each one of these so that you are able to understand and appreciate it in detail. The first element in a sales organization is all about value, which means how much of value can you create for your customer, which is measurable and monetizable. Because unless you are able to create that value for your customer, you are unable to translate it into your pipeline. So think about, how do your products and services show up as measurable results for your customer, and what is the potential monetization of those results? Perhaps even thinking about it by industry, by solution, will actually help you to realize how much more you can drive with your customer. So rather than looking at what is my addressable market, right? Think also about, in addition to the addressable market, how much of monetizable value can I create in this market? Can I create in this segment? Can I create in this sector? Because the more value you create, then you have earned the right to translate that value into volume. Let me focus on volume. When you think about volume, the more that you have within the pipeline, it increases your chances of translating that pipeline. Remember, sales is always a front-ended effort, which means your focus would be to leverage business value to build significant pipeline. So think about volume as a precursor to achievement. Think about volume as a leading indicator to your ability to achieve. In fact, I have seen some customers actually prescribe certain metrics for volume, right? Perhaps if you're looking at enterprise customers, it may be between 3x to 5x. But then if it's government customers, to be between 8x and 10x. But very clearly, having some volume measure helps you to understand, do I have enough for me to deliver? Assuming that you have done a good job of value creation, assuming you have done a good job of volume creation, now comes the ability to translate that into progress within your pipeline, which is what velocity is all about. In fact, the best driver for velocity predominantly comes from your ability to team and your ability to collaborate along with the customer. Because it is your customer's progress that tells you whether you are making progress. So always measure your progress through the actions and reactions that your customer is taking. And in a lot of cases, velocity is also important primarily because it connects to what we call your ability to drive consensus within the customer. Because if there is customer consensus, then they are able to move forward much faster. The last element, of course, is all about quality. And quality, you think about 2 parameters. One is predominantly your qualification rate, as also the win rate. What proportion of the value that you have created and the volume you have generated actually translates into pipeline is your qualification rate. How much of your pipeline actually translates into order booking is what's your win rate. And what you need to start thinking about is, how much are we able to get all of these 4 metrics working? To give you an example, a customer whom we worked with, they primarily went ahead and said, hey, we have got this whole range of products and services, but it does not matter what's in your sales bag. What really matters is what's really in your customer's consideration. So think about how much of value you're able to create for that customer and how much of that value gets translated into your pipeline. They did a good job of this. The pipeline multiplied significantly, so much so that they were now able to rally their virtual team to start looking at how do we accelerate this. This is where all of your specialists come in, whether it be pre-sale specialists, solution specialists, industry specialists, partner specialists, commercial licensing specialists, all of them working together to accelerate this pipeline. And once they accelerated it, then they started using the metrics and the measures to track, trend, and benchmark performance, which actually lifted the water level for execution for the various teams. Because in a benchmark, nobody wants to be at the bottom. Everybody's fighting to climb to the top, which means the overall water level for execution goes up. The reason I'm sharing this 3VQ framework with all of you is that irrespective of the maturity of your sales organization, think about what is it that you can use which has simplicity plus sophistication. Try and have the value, volume, velocity, and quality built in. Set the standards for performance, set the standards for excellence. Start benchmarking, trending, ranking all of your teams. And that's your mantra for sales success. Wish you all the very best as you move to ensuring you are able to over-deliver on your commitments.